It gets back to like, like charging for every parent. And for cons, I absolutely understand that, because like no one's going to get me to go to some random hotel for free. So I think the con is an absolute fantastic hustle. I think that's
Sure.
it's like kind of like pro wrestling for voice actors, sort of like it's.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. But it's like it feels like just like on social media and the behavior and like oh, this isn't big enough for me, so I'm not going to audition. Like nobody really. There is this sort of paradox where there is a desire for, because like the actors get so many roles, they can't read the scripts, right? They can't really like, go all in and like, know as much about the director, because, they're taking on so many more projects than a screen actor would. And so I respect that is the function of how it happens. But at the same time, like if you don't slow down and take time, you are not going to build very good relationships with directors and producers, because it seems like you don't care. And so it's like this weird back and forth. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, no, there's a lot there. Let me address all of that. First off, I do want to say, and sort of related to the con thing, one thing I never want to do is I never want to criticize someone who's trying to earn a living and make money. Like, do your hustle, as long as you're not needlessly hurting anybody, like, or taking advantage in a clearly destructive way. Like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with going to cons and selling prints or doing signings or whatever. My only point in that is that I think there's a severe danger in that you, as an actor who your job is to mouth words that aren't yours and that maybe you don't believe, for you to unconsciously kind of start thinking, well, I am this character, or I am important, and I am this thing, and it's very easy to get inflated and let your ego kind of run wild when you have people's attention. When you walk into a room of young fans, or who are dressed as your character and are so excited to see you, and they're so emotional to get to talk to you. Like, you got to be careful with that.
What's your stance? What's your stance on the voice actors who cosplay as the character they get cast as? Because this is the old school guys really don't like that, but like the new school people seem fine with it. Like, what's your stance on that?
Well, I would say a lot of the new school people are fans, and they like the aesthetic of anime, and they like cons. So when they dress up as their characters, I honestly don't have a problem with it. And I think the old school cynicism about it, it's kind of, what is it? It's pointing out the speck in someone else's eye when there's a plank in yours, where it's like, listen, like the problem of anime celebrity, like it doesn't matter how old, how young, when you started, it's there. Like the con culture and the money surrounding it and the attention and the corporate, all of that, you're absolutely right about. There is so much money, and not just in, there's plenty of little cons to do, but there are big corporate con events where there are thousands of companies there, multi-million-dollar companies advertising their stuff. And voice acting and the sort of voice acting culture, or the seiyuu culture, is a part of it. I think it is an import from Japan, because voice actors or seiyus in Japan have that sort of fandom around them. Like it's a different culture, and I can't speak much on it because I'm pretty ignorant to it, but I do know that like that is a part of it. And but that there's a danger in that, and the danger is, again, like starting to expect to be treated differently, or treating other people differently because you're now this big deal because you did a few anime dubs. And again, I'm not critical of the money part of it, because I want, people have the right to earn a living, and to, put food on the table and all of that. But I see the trappings of that. I've seen people in this industry who still are like, who are living off of the fumes of a character they voiced 20 years ago. Like, it's first place on their banner at all these cons. And, and it's like, it's not even the fact that, like, bro, you haven't done any significant roles since then. It's not even like that. It's not even that. It's just like, you're not that character. You didn't write it. It's not your face or your likeness. It's your voice. And it's not nothing. Like, it's your talent up there. And if fans appreciate what you did and how you're acting in a certain scene, what it meant to them, that's great. But be very careful about not fully embodying people's reactions. Because, again, actors, like, your job is to fully embody that stuff. And a lot of things can get in your head that aren't true.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of that in dubbing, but it also gets to, because all of the lip flaps are timed, like how much artistic expression could you really have? Like I see a lot of actors say this, some farther along or some more farther along than others. And it's this thing where, well, yeah, I'll just like, they don't view themselves as the creatives, I guess. And I'm indifferent to that, but they don't, like, they view writing as a creative thing. They view drawing as a creative thing, but they view acting solely as, okay, I just got to be the vehicle. I got to be the voice because the director can't voice all the characters himself. Like, that's how a lot of, I've seen a lot of actors look at it like that, where it's just, okay, it's a full tradesman thing. And I guess maybe you take it away from dubbing, but just with voiceover in general, where does an actor find room for their own artistic expression pertaining to acting?
Yeah, I would say it's particular to the project. There are some directors and producers and projects that really invite actors to be a part of the creative process, to have ideas. Like, I mean, obviously they're not writing the story, but they might rewrite lines, or like, can I try it this way, or can I change this thing? A lot of the best projects have an environment where it's collaborative. I mean, the roles are defined. Like, listen, I'm the director, I have the final say, I'm setting the tone, but I invite you to bring your ideas as well, workshop them a little bit, but we're on a time schedule. Cool. We've done this many takes. Let's move on. And striking that balance is really hard, especially in anime. And I know I'll blow it up to voice acting in general, but specifically with anime, what makes it so hard is that anime, as of right now, is a machine. It is a factory that churns out however many shows within, I mean, like 3 months max sometimes. I've known a 12-episode show that got churned out in 1 month. Like, it's insane. The timetables for simuldubs and simulcasts and all this jargon of get it out faster and faster and cheaper. And also there's so many cheap shows, frankly, coming out of Japan because anime is this pop culture, like, mainstream thing now. There's just so many new shows coming out, and they're things that would end up in the dollar bin like 3 months later.
No, that's what
yeah.
I guarantee you that Funimation and Bang Zoom and all these companies, I guarantee you, like, of all those shows they do, because a lot of it is just planting the flag. That's how what Disney does with, like, buying Star Wars and Marvel and everything. I guarantee you probably less than 5% of those shows actually turn a profit. Because
no. I had this exact conversation. I would say Funimation is a perfect example. Like, I can count on three fingers the shows that make them money. And it's the shows, it's the merchandise, it's the film spinoffs, and then the rest is it's sort of, I would say it's satisfying the subscriber base so that there are still shows coming out. And that's not to say that there aren't, like, great shows that come out within there, but again, the market is flooded right now. But because of it, the dubbing production side of things has been trying to keep up with it, and there's been more demand, more shows, faster. And honestly, the quality has either dipped or settled into good enough.
It's gone.
I'm speaking. Oh yeah, frankly speaking,
especially after COVID, it's done. It's done.
COVID certainly has not helped. I'm on the production side of things. Well, I'm not just an actor. I write for anime, and I've directed for anime and other projects, video games.
What anime did you write for?
I don't know if it's out yet, but oh gosh, I did do some writing. No, there was a show I did some writing on called Number 24. I was the character in that, but I also did some writing on it as well. But it's something that I started doing, like, PA work and small production stuff way back when I started first voice acting. Really, it was kind of I did whatever I could to work in the industry, and I got familiar with all of it. But the point being is, like, I see the stress levels and also just the insane workload of production and the low budget on that side. And it's no wonder that the shows that turn out are either passable or just not that great.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, as long as it's not the big shows that are suffering, then who cares? It's not like those little shows are making money anyway. And I don't know how long that model is going to work. Anime being mainstream for the last 10 years, people watch the big shows. The little shows are watched by the subscriber base and the hardcore anime fans. How many of those watch the dubs? I don't know. But
yeah, that's the other thing. All these people are like, oh, it's my dream to be in the dub. Motherfucker, you grew up saying the dub was shitty. Why the fuck are you celebrating it now? Like, fuck this. Like, I'm sick of this. Like, it's like I feel like I'm going insane when I see this. Like,
but as a creative art, I think, I think it needs to be creative individually. I think if you're going to be a dubbing actor, yes, it's a job. And yes, you're going to do projects you don't care about. But like, bring something to it, There is, separate from the fact that you didn't write it or whatever, there is a creativity and a craft to acting and to every role you take on. And the fact that you get paid a lot of money, not as much as other projects, but a lot of money to do these anime dubs. It's like, bring it as much as you can. Like, yes, things can be better, but like that creative, what you can bring creatively is there. I wish things were a little bit better, but I just think we're in a transition period in media in general. Everything's going streaming now. So many things that were nerdy and niche are becoming bigger deals, and we're getting bigger budgets and bigger names.